Indiana Economic Development Corporation, or IEDC, was originally conceived to help grow Indiana more like a business and faster than state government may be able to. But a new forensic audit now has the IEDC under very close scrutiny. 21 Investigates reporter John Wagner talks with Whitney Downard at the Indiana Capitol Chronicle.
Some of the things that were highlighted in the article are, it seems that donors got hundreds of millions of dollars. There was some questionable spending on like luxury travel and things like that. And there were some conflicts of interest. How much money do we think was ill-spent, ill-used, misappropriated?
Yeah, so that's where it gets kind of tricky because the IEDC obviously had its own contracts. It spent about $1.2 billion in the 3 years that were analyzed. But one of the bigger concerns was actually the Indiana Economic Development Foundation, which is the nonprofit arm of the IEDC. That operates even more opaquely. Anybody can donate to it, and their names are protected from the public record. And then those donations can be used to further the IEDC's mission. For example, the IEDF frequently funded all of those international trips that former Governor Eric Holcomb and former Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers took to go to Egypt, to Europe, etc. Those were funded by that foundation. And we do not know all of the people who donated to that, but the audit showed that people who donated, I think they said donated like 6 million, but got maybe twice as much back in terms of funding from the IEDC.
When we're talking about this amount of money, I guess I have to ask, did something criminal happen? Is any charges forthcoming?
Yes. Everyone's been very careful to say that no criminal actions were found. Governor Mike Braun said that explicitly before the report was released last week. I will say, though, that FTI Consulting, which conducted the audit, they are not looking necessarily for that. They are looking more specifically for these ethics and questions of impropriety.
You brought up Governor Braun. It is interesting to look at how IEDC was set up in the first place to operate more like a business and to have more transparency. A lot of pillars that Governor Braun ran on to get that office. Has he shared any criticism of this audit? Anything like that?
Even on the campaign trail, then candidate Braun was very critical of the IEDC. And coming into office, he has appointed a whole new board. The board has vowed to be more transparent, and the board is the one who went and pursued this audit. So it remains to be seen. The IEDC is definitely undergoing a bit of a transformation, and who knows what it will look like in a couple of years, but it's certain that there's some big changes happening there.
This is a far from cut and dry, easy to digest story, but Whitney, you did a great job in your article on Indiana Capitol Chronicle's website. Check that article out. And Whitney, thank you so much for being with us on 21 Alive News.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, in addition to any potential misuse of public money now being scrutinized through the audit, Hoosier taxpayers will also be picking up the tab for the audit itself, which comes with a price tag of up to $800,000.